Welcome, folks, to episode 143. And look who's back. It's almost like a part two. In episode 142, we talked to the same guest here representing Emerald Labs, the Additive-Free Company. We're talking with Stacy Faulkner, folks, who's worked in the natural health industry since 24 years ago, 2000, as a National Educator for Emerald Labs. Stacy provides insight and understanding to those seeking information regarding better health through proper supplementation and self-care. And today we're going to dive into allergy health because Stacy thought this was important to talk about today. She's undergoing a little bit of allergies here herself, and how quercetin and zinc all fits in with this, and quercetin phytosome. Stacy, the stage is yours. Welcome back.
Hey, good morning, Dehan. Good to see you. Happy
Good to see
summer.
you too. Happy summer. And it's going to be a good episode here, and I'll be doing some screen shares for the YouTube viewers and also explain, if you're tuning in on Spotify, how to access these products online. But we do carry everything we're about to discuss here at Healthy Habit Health Foods. And I want to remind everybody, Stan the Demo Man's in-house Tuesdays through Saturdays here, 9 a.m. to 6 p.m. Actually, summer hours now are 8 to 7. So keep that in mind, folks, just for the summer. And so, Stacy, let's talk about quercetin a little bit. Tell us about
Right.
why it's so important.
Well, it's really important to me because I take it for allergy relief, and you can probably hear it in my voice today. Um, Quercetin, basically, it's a flavonoid. If listeners don't know what a flavonoid is, it's basically what gives a fruit the pigments, the colors that they are. And so a lot of people will understand like the brighter, the darker the fruit skin or the vegetable skin or the interior of that fruit or vegetable, the more beneficial you're going to get from flavonoids. And flavonoids, they're dietary polyphenols, super important as far as they operate as far as looking at antioxidant activity, anti-inflammatory. That's probably what we're going to be looking at a lot today. Quercetin also has been looked at most recently for gastrointestinal health by keeping the junctions tight in the small intestine to avoid leaky gut. So there's a lot of things that quercetin does, especially respiratory health. So people might remember the end of the pandemic where quercetin really got a spotlight, and that's because they were looking at the respiratory benefits in the lungs and the little alveoli that are along the line that are along the lung basically encourage where did I pull that up? It's the oxygen that's transferred into the blood. And so the alveoli are a single layer of specialized cells that the quercetin protects. And so that's where we got all this respiratory information at the end of pandemic, because COVID was really looking at a lot of respiratory issues. So that's one major thing, but also it really helps with the mast cells, like for allergy health, and avoiding the histamine breakout. And so when I talk about overall, and I talk about the flavonoids, like I grabbed this to show you since you have this up from Trader Joe's, right? It's the power of the purples. So this is so full of flavonoids, and you can see it's bright purple juice, but it's tart cherry, organic pomegranate, black mulberry, red grape, purple carrot, cranberry, and blueberry.
Wait
So
a minute.
people are
Did you
listening.
and I discuss this juice before or something?
No,
This
but
is unbelievable. I've
I'm just
probably
showing the
bought 40 of
conspiracy.
those. I've probably gone through 40 of that exact juice. Not
You
even a word
totally
of a lie.
crave it.
Ask Dr.
Yeah.
Aaron. Every
I
single time I stop at Trader Joe's, I pick up 3 of those.
so
The best juice
yes,
I've ever tasted literally
totally.
in my life.
Me too. So I crave it, and I just keep it as my own in the fridge. I don't even pour it into a glass. I just drink it. So for people listening, that's just kind of a little bit of for people to remember the importance of the brightly colored fruits and vegetables. I mean, obviously for alkalinity, the greens are really great, but today's conversation talking about quercetin and flavonoids is really, I wanted to illustrate with that juice. And I'm so glad you're a big fan as well.
Unbelievable.
Right?
Seriously.
So yeah, so grapes, purple carrots, pomegranates, so people can understand blueberries, raspberries, pomegranates, all sorts of, I think I already said that, but really, really important. And so it's a natural flavonoid that's really abundant in fruits and vegetables. So the evidence that I have here is that it's therapeutic potential for the prevention and treatment of the different diseases, including cardiovascular, cancer, and neurodegenerative. So that's really a lot more research that's starting to happen with these abstracts that I've come across, not just for allergies and respiratory health. So it is overall when we're looking at when we're looking at overall health effects like inflammation, That's going to
Right.
affect, right? C-reactive proteins. That's going to lead to probably pain and discomfort if we have a lot of inflammation. There could be the silent inflammation when we start to look at, heart health, lung health, things like that, right? And so basically quercetin is my like go-to. I take 2 a day, and what we're specifically talking about is one ingredient that Emerald Labs uses is quercefit, and that's a patented trademark registered ingredient that we purchased from a company named Indina. We have several products now that we purchase from Indina because a lot of people don't understand that quercetin is poorly absorbed by the human and animal body, and so somehow you have to get that absorption. Vitamin C helps with the absorption, but what the company Indina has done with these poorly absorbed ingredients like berberine, like turmeric, and in this case quercetin, what's happening is they use this phospholipid technology, and so it's called a phytosome. And for consumers, it's kind of a big word, but it's super easy. Just think about a fat bubble. So when they take something that's poorly absorbed, they put it inside a fat bubble. That fat bubble encourages absorption into the human and animal body.
Incredible breakdown. So quercefit's
Hmm.
a specific form of quercetin that helps
Yeah.
us get it absorbed better. If you're going to
Mm.
be already buying a supplement, you want to make sure you're absorbing it, correct?
Correct. And I mean, otherwise you're wasting your money. And that's something that we're something I say it over and over, you're only as good as what you absorb. So just like the food that we eat, that's why chewing is so important. Chewing and breaking down that food into really small particles so it can get through the stomach, through the mucosal lining, get into the bloodstream to be absorbed
Yeah.
and have the nutrients go to where they need to, organs, bones, etc.
And so you
So
can see
there it
here,
is.
yeah, I pulled up the quercetin phytosome 20x more bioavailability, which is
Yep.
exactly what Stacy was just explaining because of that. It's coated in that fat lipid bubble, which
Mm-hmm.
remember all the cells of our body are coated with a lipid membrane as well, so it absorbs right into that cell nicely and that's hence why it has the 20x more bioavailability. And you can see here clinically proven Quercefit, which is that technology to improve the absorption. Anything else you wanted to add right
Yeah,
here?
right there. So I think it's important that you pointed out it's 20 times more bioavailable than standard quercetin. And so consumers might ask, what do you mean standard quercetin? Well, if you look at just normal quercetin, you're going to see most likely in formulas, the quercetin is going to be up to 1,000, probably 1,000 milligrams, right?
Right.
Because they're hoping that your body will break down at least 250, which is kind of standard for elemental absorption. So people need to understand when you're taking high amounts of an ingredient that's not clinically studied and have science back, your body will absorb as much as it can. But in this case, guaranteed absorption here with the Phytosome technology is a 250 mgs. So when you see the sunflower lecithin next to it, that is what the phospholipid is. It's project verified non-GMO sunflower lecithin. And then the Sephora japonica is the extract of where we get the quercetin from that the company uses Indina. So just really, it's microencapsulated. It improves the solubility and the bioavailability, like I said, up to 20 times. And so therefore, people are wanting to have smaller and smaller capsules. And so if it's 250, our capsules are like the size of, um, like a little pinky fingernail. And
Yeah.
so, and also we have a value added size here for the consumers that are interested in that at a 60 capsule. So it's just one a day. At these times of the year, like when I have allergies or if I'm traveling, I take two right when I wake up, and it works extremely effectively and very quickly. But they're very tiny capsules for the consumers that are interested in taking smaller capsules.
Got it. And so the purpose of showing the juice earlier from Trader Joe's
Hmm.
is a natural food source of quercetin as well, maybe to combine with this, correct?
Absolutely. And I mean, as much as you could get from Whole Foods, that's always our
Yeah.
goal, right? But in this case too, this is organic. It clearly says organic. And so you want to be careful about if you're, you want to be careful about plums, a lot of the dirty dozen, those stone fruits,
Yes.
that are really bright. You want to make sure those are organic because of the pesticide issue that we're looking at. So when you can buy organic, when you're looking at, those bright colored fruits, just make sure you're buying a quality product or quality
That's
ingredients.
why I like Trader Joe's because that very juice you just showed, number one, it's in glass.
Hmm.
It has the organic
Hmm.
certification, but it's from Turkey, actually. It's a product of Turkey. Look on there. Look on the back there. I've looked at that.
Hmm.
Confirm that for me.
Okay. It's on, I
So
can see.
incredible. That gives you seven
So
different fruits and veg. Let's give Stacy a moment there to confirm
Product of
that.
Turkey.
There
It
it
is
is.
very
Yeah.
good.
So
I
in
hadn't even gone
countries
that
like
far.
that, you can't include GMOs and many different pesticides and herbicides that are allowed here in North America, especially in America. So that's
And
why I
looking
like
at
Trader Joe's.
Turkey, yeah, and looking at Turkey, big producers of pomegranate. They have a huge
Okay.
resistance to a lot of diseases at the inflammation and at the cellular level because they do eat so many of the pomegranates and the juices and the oil. Um,
Yes.
so it's basically what we're trying to explain to the consumer that it's protective for the respiratory health. It's protective for the acute allergies that somebody might be focusing on. I also have an abstract that they're looking at interstitial cystitis and bladder pain. And so they have found that the bioflavonoid available in quercetin is such an anti-inflammatory that it affects members of this class of compounds found in the fruits and vegetables. And so for 4 weeks, one patient had some improvement and some improvement of the bladder pain and the cystitis. So I thought that was really interesting because I think as the years go by, we're going to find out more and more about quercetin. And this quercetin, that the quercefit, is from the Japonica pagoda tree. And so the main, some people may remember, we used to, the main flavonoid is rutin, and it's called
Yeah.
troxyrutin. And so, if we're looking at capillary strength and resistance, hence lung health, right? Many, many years ago, the main thing that people grabbed off the shelves for hemorrhoids was rutin.
Mm,
So that's helping with the capillary strength and resistance,
right.
to help not have a hemorrhoid explode. So if you think about that as well for the lung health, keeping the lungs protected and like I talked about earlier, transferring the oxygen into the blood, super important.
Wow. And so
So
how is that going to be different from, let's say, this one right here? I pulled up the quercetin plus zinc. This one has the chelated
yeah.
zinc added. And what's going to be, is that the key separator there? The zinc is added? That's
So
it?
this 10 milligrams of this zinc is super important because this is science backed as well. People can look
Yeah.
this up. Why is zinc good with quercetin?
Okay.
So the quercetin, they basically potentiate each other. And so what we're looking at is the quercetin it opens up a little channel in the cell membrane. It's called an ionophore, and that allows the zinc molecule to travel into the membrane. And so that zinc stops from allowing um, and viral replication. So again,
Yes.
that was good studies for the lung health. And so if anybody's having any kind of lung disorder, lung health, difficulty in breathing, or allergies, this zinc is a no-brainer added to it. And it's this again, it's the same Quercefit. It's a 2 month supply as well. But again, people can take to every day if they need it, just to kind of lower the effects of whatever they're suffering
Got
from.
it. Yeah, if you
Mhm.
want to take it up a notch, basically. Yeah, and Emerald even has a bundle where they have zinc as a standalone, and
Yeah.
then you can also get the quercetin, like this one right here, as a standalone,
Mm-hmm.
and
Mm-hmm.
add the zinc with it. There's different ways you can go about it. So now you know that there's the quercetin plus zinc if you want to just have them both in one formula, and there's the standalone too. So what's going to be the take home then on quercetin? It's a great antioxidant, anti-inflammatory agent. You know, it's high in a lot of foods like onions and garlic,
Oh
correct?
yeah,
What other
onions.
foods?
Even oh yeah, even onions. And it depends on the color of the onion. So like
Right.
I'm growing red onions right now, like and purple onions. So the brown onions don't have as much in them. So it's important, remember, because we're looking at the flavonoids. We're looking at the color of the fruit. I did print up mm, apples, honeys, raspberries, onions, red grapes, cherries, citrus, green leafy vegetables. Um, among the vegetables, oh, the quercetin is highest in the onions.
There it is.
There it
We
is.
nailed it.
Yeah. So I thought that was pretty important to really educate the consumer on, especially with trying to avoid over-the-counter at like a drugstore,
Right.
allergy, histamine stuff. When you can do it with a natural polyphenol or flavonoid, that's always going to be uh, beneficial. I also noted that it's an excellent scavenger of reactive oxygen species. And
Okay.
so the reactive oxygen and the reactive nitrogen species. So that's really good for reducing the oxidative stress, which we were just talking about earlier, which is a big contributor to inflammation.
Incredible. So, and that's why you added it into the allergy formula here by Emerald
Yep,
Labs, because
yep.
you have, here, I'm going to pull that one up here, the Allergy Health Formula by Emerald Labs. Go ahead and get us started on that one.
So that this one is more like a compound. So it's got the nettle leaf, it's got the eyebright, it has N-acetylcysteine, it has the quercetin in there, vitamin C, and bromelain. And so bromelain and pineapple, both of them help with balancing the histamine, so it attacks inflammation.
Right.
The nettle leaf resists inflammation and also downplays bacteria because the nettle leaf is really rich in A, B, C, D, calcium, iron, and magnesium.
Yeah.
So nettle leaf is like a potent little, I mean, they grow wild in my yard. And so you can just quickly blanch them because they got the little stingers on them. But the nettle leaf is something that, and they make it in tea. Nettle leaf is a powerhouse in my mind. So so that's it. So preventing that histamine release from the cells is super important. Acting as an anti-inflammatory. The eyebright is an anti-inflammatory, and so it constricts the body's tissues. So decreasing the blood and the secretion flows. So secretion flows are like
Yes.
my runny nose, reduces the swelling in the affected area. So that could be somebody's eye area. The N-acetylcysteine helps build glutathione levels and is a huge um, antioxidant cell protector, increasing detoxification, getting those inflammatory junk out of you. Okay, so I love this product. This product I used to take way before we got just the quercetin alone. The quercetin capsules are so tiny. I appreciate those, but like today I took two quercetin and two of the allergy formula because it's
Okay.
synergistic. So it's really going to reduce the inflammation as well as helping to tighten up everything and constrict the blood flow that's really happening within the tissues and the secretion. So the runny nose, runny eyes, etc.
I like that nettle leaf in there. That's not a
Me
commonly
too.
talked about herb for allergies in general
Yeah,
for
and it
health.
is definitely a powerhouse, nettle leaf. If anybody has a takeaway with that, you have a box of nettle tea, it's always just great to make a big pot of iced tea during the summer, of an herb tea. Nettle leaf is always a good tasty one to do.
Right.
Add it
Nettle
to your
leaf.
green tea.
Yes. Exactly. Fun fact, it's a nutritive herb. There's herbs have many
Exactly.
different actions. Nutritive meaning nettles really high in nutrients like minerals and vitamins. So it's excellent for the skin. And again, it provides you with actual nutrition, not just benefits against things like allergies and stuff like that. So awesome formula there. Now, Eye Bright, well, obviously can help with that congestion in the eyes, the
Yeah.
watery, runny
Right.
eyes,
Right.
redness, itchy
Mm-hmm.
eyes, all that. So, and then let's hit on the bromelain real quick as a reminder. Why is
So
that in there?
so
What is that found in food?
bromelain, so that's just basically a proteolytic enzyme. So it's balancing this histamine levels. So it's attacking the inflammation.
Perfect. You can find
Yeah.
that in pineapple in really high amounts
Yeah.
in pineapple.
Pineapple and bromelain, those are also both in our digestive health formula. So those two, looking at just kind of breaking things down as a proteolytic enzyme, and proteolytic enzymes basically like kind of just chew away at stuff, chew away at inflammation and break it down.
Right. And that's the allergy health formula, folks. And
Mm-hmm.
there's that quercetin phytosome added in there with the vegan NAC, the NAC there,
Yep.
helps you recycle glutathione. And I'll do a quick little reminder. We have, again, the quercetin plus zinc through Emerald
Mm-hmm.
Labs right here. And again, that's the phytosome. Whenever you folks see that phytosome, just know that it's a specific type of quercetin that helps our body absorb it better. Okay. And then here's just that standalone quercetin phytosome here through emeraldlabs.com, or you can go to store.emeraldlabs.com. Folks, we're talking with Stacy Faulkner here, episode number 143 on the Healthy Habit Podcast.
143.
And we do regular monthly check-ins with Stacy and Emerald to keep us in the loop with an excellent company. Remind our listeners, why are we called the Additive-Free Company?
Yep. So from day one, we're our 22-year-old company. So from day one, we've been additive free. We're our own FDA audited manufacturer. So we have the control from start to finish of sourcing the ingredients. We lab test in house for all the ingredients after they come in third-party tested and are quarantined, and then they get tested in house in our spectrometer on our spectrometer. for purity, strength, identity, composition. We use no flow agents. We use no fillers. Magnesium stearate, flow agents, vegetable lubricants, they have no nutritive value. So if there's no nutritive value to an ingredient, it's not going into our project verified non-GMO quick dissolving capsule. Okay, so we slow all the machines down and we do really small production runs when the ingredients are going through the encapsulating machine. So it's not necessary to use magnesium stearate. It's just a flow agent. It's just to encourage those ingredients to not get sticky and clog the encapsulating machine. So great stuff. We're gluten-free. We're non-GMO, additive-free, like I said, like you asked. Common allergen-free or 100% soy-free line. So I think the takeaways for that, obviously, and all of that stuff is on the label. So we really are transparent and we're really clear for the consumer to be able to understand what they're going to purchase. We try to be very fair-minded with the price points as well. So I think if we had to do takeaways on the quercetin today overall, since it's in the allergy formula and we have the 2 bottles as a standalone, I would say that people need to remember it increases the circulation. It reduces hemorrhoids. Acts as an expectorant. It's a bronchitis aid. It decreases blood pressure, blood fat, the triglycerides, increases capillary strength, increases the heart's blood flow. It's an anticoagulant. So that's really important too. Remember a couple years ago when they said it's no longer necessary to take baby aspirin after a certain age because they're looking for heart health, because it's saying their fear is that people will bleed to death. So people went off of their baby aspirin. So quercetin would be a great alternative for that. And so that would be my takeaway for that.
Perfect. We'll highlight that in the show notes, definitely. And it's a good one, folks. Make sure you subscribe or like this video. You can leave a comment in the description box below. That helps people view this podcast and the channel in general. So, hey, and by the way, in episode number 145, a little bit later today, we're going to be recording our first time with founder, and I think he's currently president or CEO. No, sorry, you can correct me on that one.
Yeah,
we got Dr. Stangler coming on the program.
He's our formulator.
Got it.
Yes, he's a naturopathic medical doctor he runs the Stangler Institute here in town. So he came to us with all of his formulas that he was creating for his patients. So he creates formulas when he sees an uptick and something going on with his patients, right? Like he saw recently a couple of years ago uptick in Hashimoto's thyroiditis, not just in women my age, but like younger women, is uptick in kids 12 to 17 and in men. So he created Hashi Immune. So he creates these formulas. He came to us because we're FDA audited manufacturer to manufacture his formulas. And the owner of the company, we're family run.
Rick Simpson.
Rick Simpson saw the validity. Saw the validity in the formulas. And so we contracted with Dr. Stangler so that we could get our own labels on the bottle, reduce the price point, and get into the hands of the average consumer. And when I say the average consumer, that's who's shopping at Healthy Habits, right? That's us.
Perfect. Yeah, that's a great little segue and intro. Rick Simpson is the founder. I confused him and Dr. Mark. So a good thing we have Dr. Mark on to talk about that background a little bit. And when you see Dr. formulated on all the Emerald Labs products, that's referring to Dr. Mark Stangler, who's also a fellow naturopathic physician like us here at Healthy Habit. So definitely you want to tune into that one, folks. That'll be episode number 145 with Dr. Mark Stangler. So,
terrific.
Stacy, who should be thinking of quercetin? Then we have customers shopping in the store as they're listening to us right now. What's a good take home? Why should someone have quercetin on the radar?
I would say because it's a powerhouse for sure. I've used that word several times today, but I would say overall, like in the medicine cabinet for whenever you need it for allergic rhinitis, allergenic rhinitis as an anti-inflammatory. So oxidative stress, combating that is a potent anti-inflammatory. Lung health, capillary strength and resistance, what did I say earlier? Oh, the increasing the capillary strength, circulation, all sorts of things. So for me, I take it surely as an antioxidant, anti-inflammatory, and I take it for my allergies. So for me, it's super easy because the capsules are so tiny. I can take it on an empty tummy, and it works very effectively for me.
Amazing. It's been an action-packed show here, folks. We've even hit on Dr. Mark Stangler. Finally, we're going to see the formulator behind the brand there, the Dr. Formulated Company. We hit on Emerald Labs. Why is it an additive-free company? Why are they called that? That was a great breakdown. And the importance of that combination with zinc and
Hmm.
quercetin. And like you said, you can easily search that, folks, on Google. Even add the word scholar on there to filter out kind of the noise. And
Okay.
zinc helps
Interesting.
quercetin get absorbed. That's been known since we started COVID back there in 2020. A lot of people started combining the two,
Yeah.
and it's really interesting. You can go deep on the research there. What else do you want our listeners to know before we wrap it up here for today, Stacy?
Well, I think I could touch base on the quality of the formulas. I think it's important for consumers to know that yes, we're doctor formulated. Yes,
Right.
we are affordable and 100% additive free. So when you're looking at the other ingredients on all of our bottles, you're just going to see other ingredient. It's just a vegetable capsule. And like I said, that's a project verified non-GMO quick dissolving capsule. It's made from pine bark, so it's just the cellulose. So there's no allergy. Um, if somebody has a pine allergy, it's not an issue at all. Um, and that there's a lot of formulas depending on how strong your allergies are, or if is it seasonal, right?
Right.
Because fall, summer, is it perennial, like experience just year round? So you'll know. So I have quercetin constantly available. I even travel with it.
Thank you, Stacy,
You're
for
welcome.
coming on for episode
You're welcome.
143. And like I
Yes,
said, episode 142 as well was a part one kind of segment there with Stacy. So make sure you check both of those out, folks. Thank you, Stacy.
you're welcome. Until next time, Dehan, have a great rest of your week.
You too.